Okay, so we do have a problem. I had a feeling these tires were too small, and they're entirely too small. So unfortunately, guys, we have to head back out. We can't do anything more today. How's it feel having a parking lot now?
Pretty good. Probably could have moved it over a little bit, giving you some room to park.
That's right. I gotta figure out where to put the trailer today. All right, so it is Saturday, June 15th. Last night was calm, wind-wise, so I was able to sleep 8 hours. I don't think I've slept 8 hours in a month. I'm thanking God for that. But we got the idea after recent events to actually go to our other property and try and pull our enclosed trailer off of there. I can use it as an office. That would be extremely helpful and nice. So we are going to attempt to do that. However, we have a lot of problems we're facing. I don't know what size tires I need. I don't know if they have 4 or 5 lugs. I don't know what size tow hitch it has because it's been there for 5 or 6 years now. And the other thing is, oh, it has a tongue lock on it. I don't know if I have or where the tongue lock keys are. So it'll be interesting if there's a tongue lock, because I know there's a tongue lock on it. If I don't have the correct key to it, I'm not quite sure how we remove that. It's not exactly like you can just call a locksmith, be like, hey, can you take this tongue lock off, and then have them drive an hour out in the middle of nowhere to pull a tongue lock off a trailer. So we'll see how that goes. I think I have the key, but the keys are also in a storage unit. I think I know what box the container is in that holds the keys too, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm gonna have to go to the storage unit, look for the tongue lock keys, make sure I have the right hitch size. Basically, I'm gonna drive out to the storage unit, get the keys, go out to the property, try the tongue lock key, get the hitch size, get the tire size, go back into town, get the tires that I need. If I need, get the ball hitch size that I need. And then if the tongue lock key doesn't work, I don't know where to go from there. So we're just gonna see how this goes. If we can get it back here, it's gonna be a huge miracle and a huge lifesaver, because it'll give me an office space, as well as the kids will have a space to play during the day when it's direct sunlight overhead. It has a side door and a back ramp. So we can face the side door to the east, and then the back ramp can go north-south, so that we don't get the setting sun, which is the hottest, and then the overhead sun, obviously. But then it's small enough where there's quite a bit of airflow going through there. So I'm gonna load up the car with everything that I need. Lug, wrench, 2x6s, a jack, the hitches. I think we have 2 size hitches. We'll hit the road in about 30 minutes max. That's what I'm hoping for. It's already 7:27, so I'm actually a half hour behind. Actually, I'm an hour behind now because I wanted to leave at 7. My car is a mess because I was working in here. I was editing yesterday. So all my computer, mouse, headphones, hard drives. I was taking a 15-minute nap on my jacket in this cardboard box here. My solar battery's in the back. It should be in the front because I was using it to charge my computer. So it's a mess. So time to get to it. And just in case, wrenches. All right, so first stop is a storage unit. I have all of my stuff. We shouldn't have any problems, but just in case, when we go out to our property, I haven't been out there for a while. I got this guy. It's a 10.5-inch barrel. Where our other property is, actually, there's fewer people. And when we talked to some of the neighbors who lived about 5 miles from our property, they said that basically the road that we turn off of to go to our property, they said that even the sheriff's office, they don't go past that road. So there's not a lot of violent crime, but there's a lot of theft in the area. There are a lot of, tweakers and meth heads and stuff who will potentially use violence. They're not obviously of the right mind. Other issues are squatters who, if they feel threatened or whatever, who knows what. So last time I was at our property, obviously our trailer got broken into, got a night vision monocular, 2 handguns, and some other random supplies taken. Oh, and when I was out there, I noticed that there was a bunch of kind of like garbage piled up and stuff on the property to the north of us. My guess is it's probably not the property owner that's just piling up trash on the property. But I'm gonna go back out there, take a look around. I'll try and be careful. I have my handgun, I have my AR pistol just in case. Probably shouldn't be any issues, but the last thing that I want is to just go retrieve my trailer and run into issues and be unprepared. So rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So let's go to the storage unit, PO box, and then we'll head out to the property. So I just saw in the side view mirror, my dog was following me, and this is the second time this has happened. Last time he followed out Casey when they were going into town. This time he followed me out. If we're not keeping an eye on him, he'll see that we're leaving and he'll follow us. So I had to walk him back to our property and have the kids grab him before I got back in the car and left. So it looks like he's staying now, so no issues there. All right, let's do this. So I don't know if you can see this, but I just spotted this driving down this road. Probably cut my eye because it's shiny, but it's also, check this out, quartz on the inside. You'd never guess looking on the outside. Is that what's inside of all of these? Okay, so we got toilet paper. We got the kids' storage totes. I got 2 plastic chairs. I got 2 cases of beans. I got my monopod. I got kids' art box. Got my drone. Got my key labelers. Oh, key fob labelers. And this is what I wasn't sure if I could find. This guy. It's hard to open this with one hand. All of our keys. So this one right here literally says trailer tongue lock. I don't think it's the one that I had on the RV that we sold because I'm pretty sure I gave that to them with the key. So I'm really hoping that this one goes to our trailer. The other thing that makes me think so is there's 2 different keys on here. And I almost want to say that one goes to the tongue lock and the other one goes to the padlocks on the doors. But we will see. Neither of these looks like a master lock key, but only one way to find out. All right, so I checked the P.O. box, nothing. I was hoping for some checks. They'll probably get here Monday, to be honest. Maybe Tuesday, which is fine. I also looked in the back to see if I could find a bottle jack for this car. And good news is I found the jack. Bad news is I have the jack, but there's no bar to actually extend or lower the jack. So I have to go to the store and either find a jack or just the arm, if they even have that piece by itself. I'll check Cal Ranch and probably Harbor Freight. And then I also forgot 2x6s to put the jack onto to jack it up. So I'll probably, when I get to the property, have to find a flat rock to put the jack on. Originally I was planning on going out to the property, checking everything, coming back, getting the stuff, and going back out with the exact stuff. But what I'm actually gonna do is try and get everything that I need, go out there, and there's like a 90% chance that everything actually goes well, which will save me a trip, which will actually save me 2 hours. So I'm gonna try and do that because I could be done by like 11 instead of like 1 p.m. So I'm gonna hit up Cal Ranch store, see if they got a jack, tires, stuff like that, maybe Harbor Freight, and then we might be rocking and rolling. Okay, so good news. I went to Cal Ranch store. They're amazing. They had everything I needed, I think. I even bought 2 tires that are probably the right size. The person at the front desk tried to answer my question the best that they could. And then not only that, when I went to the tire aisle, some lady just walked up to the aisle and was like, hey, you finding everything you need? And so I told them my situation and they're like, oh, this could work or this could work. This is probably it. And they kind of like walked me through. And then I asked them if they had any, like where their car jacks were. We went to the aisle right, like it was like 5 aisles down. They took me right there, right away. No attitude. And then showed me the different types of jacks. I explained my situation. They're like, this one would probably work. These are more pricey. These are more affordable. You know, both will get the job done, but this one, you know, obviously they're just giving me the information versus trying to persuade me to buy the most expensive thing or anything like that. They told me like Walmart carries tires and Tractor Supply has a larger selection, even though they don't really like Tractor Supply. And I told them that I had a bad experience there. And they were like, you know, it's still early, so it's Saturday and people buy up tires a lot on the weekend. So if you go out there quickly, find out if the size is good. And if it's not, you can come back into town and get the right size before everyone comes into town and buys everything up. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I think I have the right size though. They look correct. I don't think they were 4 lug. I think they were 5 lug. So we're just gonna go straight out to the property now. Listen to this. I'm going like 10 miles an hour. This is so bad. We got stranded out here in 2019 and they drove us back into town. I wonder if it's the same people because I'd like to go back and thank them. We sat right there. It was snowing and it was like 9 p.m. and we were yelling out because we saw lights turn on. We were asking for help because we had just hiked 5 miles out of our property. they were kind enough to drive us all the way back to our hotel at Holiday Inn, which is back in town. It's like 30-45 minutes from here. And all we could do was pay to fill up their tank of gas with gas. So yeah, if I ever run across them again, I'm sure they wouldn't have forgotten that. So I'd love to tell them thanks again. But that's the kind of people that are out here. I guess the wife or something works in Holbrook as like an EMT, and she's up there for like 3 days at a time, and she had just gotten back from work. Otherwise, it was like 9:30 or 10 p.m. Otherwise, there was no reason for anyone to be awake at that time. So God was definitely looking out for us and allowed us to get picked up and driven back in, because everyone else was either gone or asleep. And it was Christmas Eve, I believe. It was Christmas Eve night that we hiked out. And so yeah, we spent Christmas Day in a hotel. Everything was closed. I think we went to Denny's the next morning, and then I had to walk to Safeway or something, and they were only open for like limited hours, or I can't even remember what happened. Got towed out on the day after Christmas. It was kind of a wild event. I guess the story behind that though is we came up here because I realized that our trailer that we're about to get today was not on our property. It was on the property to the north of us, and somehow I had miscalculated or mislooked at the map and left our trailer on someone else's property. For 5 years it was on someone else's property, so that was a big error. And I was like, Casey, we need to get up there ASAP, otherwise they could claim it's theirs technically, or we just didn't want it to get like stolen or something. So we moved it to our property, got stranded on the way out, and that was the story about that house back there. So kind of weird that we're going back to get it now and bring it to a different property. So this is some of our neighbors here. We're halfway there. There should be 2 gates or fences that we have to go through. I haven't seen them yet, so we're just gonna keep an eye out. Okay, so we found our gate, and in the last year this has been replaced with a metal gate. This used to just be sticks and barbed wire. I hope there's not a lock, because I don't think they're allowed to lock gates that do not go to private drives. So let's hope that it's just like a carabiner or something. All right, and there's our second gate there. Hope you guys saw that. I kicked over with my foot, got it into the top, one-handed. Now there was a chance that it wasn't gonna happen, but it did. So just so you guys have an idea of what these roads look like, that's how bad they are. I don't know if you can see all of those rocks, but that's terrible. There's fortunately a route that goes around here. And once we get up there, I'll see if I can show you what that looks like, because that's just straight nasty. All right, I'm actually gonna walk over here. This is the road. Look at that. That's what you're supposed to drive through. That's supposed to be a road. All right, that rock is probably too big, so I'm just gonna get out and remove it real quick. All right, so we are here. There it is. Both the tires are flat as expected, but here's the question. I have no idea how I can tow it around this sharp. I don't even think the Excursion can turn this sharply. So I think what I need to do is, after I swap the tires, I'm gonna drive forward, back up, and I think I need to just tow this just enough to where the back wheels clear these bushes. I'll detach it, I'll back up, drive forward over here, back up over there, pull around a little bit, and then connect it again, but almost like at a 90-degree angle or close to it, and hope that as I drive around here, the back wheels, if they clear this little thing of trees, that'll pull around. I have no idea how I got it here. I made it this way so it'd be hard to hook up and tow away, and sure enough, it's hard to hook up and tow away. The other option is I hook it up and I try and back it out a little bit. Problem is, if I do that, then I block the whole entrance. So I'm gonna have to think about this for a second. All right, first things first, let's see if we can get the tongue lock off, because if we can't, don't know if it's worth doing much more. And then we also have to check the hitch size. It is a 2-inch ball, which we have, praise the Lord. I'm actually borrowing it from my dad. So let's check the key here. According to this, it is one of these 2 keys. All right, place your bets. What are the odds are that you think one of these keys works? I think it's 90% chance that one works. I think it is the bigger key. Like I said, I haven't been out here for a while. I came out here a year ago. It's probably gonna be teeth down, huh? That's not acting like it. Let's try this one. Okay, so the bad news is neither of these keys work actually. These ones don't even go in, teeth up or teeth down. I mean, I was expecting for something to not go right, like wrong size tires or the wrong ball size, hitch. Let's see, we have these. These look like tongue lock keys, but they don't go in, teeth up or teeth down. We're down to these. I don't think these are it because that's a handcuff key and these are padlock keys. These say Euro lock. We can try them. This doesn't say Euro lock. It says Kurt. But we can. Oh wow, that just went right in. It's not turning. Oh, we just got it. Look at that. Wow, praise God, we just got that unlocked. So I should probably mark those. We have a 2-inch ball, fortunately, and I guess all we got to do is change the tires and hope that we can figure out this puzzle. So let's go change the tires. Okay, so we do have a problem. I had a feeling these tires were too small, and they're entirely too small. So these tires will not be able to handle the weight, and there's almost no clearance. So unfortunately, I think we have to put the tongue lock back on, drive back into town, and try and get some 205 75 R15s. I'll call around and see if anyone has them on hand, and then come back out here, and then I can probably make it back by 4 or 5 p.m. with the trailer back to our property. But if not, then I'll just put in an order and wait to swap these out till another time. So unfortunately, guys, we have to head back out. We can't do anything more today. Okay, so I was able to return the tires to Cal Ranch because they were way too tiny. So I got back like 200 bucks. Now I have to go spend 400 bucks at discount to get the full size tires. But discount has them, great customer service. They're gonna throw them together and put them on hold for me. So I should be able to just go down there and pick them up is what it looks like, which is super convenient. That's why I always shop at discount for tires. Okay, so we're back on the road. I stopped by our current camp, I guess you could call it, to drop off some supplies. I got chairs and toilet paper and oh, I forgot to get the kids' art supplies. Oh well, I'll be back in a few hours. I also had to pick up some stuff because I forgot to get boards, like 2x6s, to put the jack on to jack up the trailer. I need more space to back that trailer out of there, especially with this vehicle, which is longer than our Yukon. So I brought like a tree saw, I brought a hand saw, I brought a Sawzall, I brought a circular saw, I brought loppers, I brought hedge trimmers, a shovel just in case, like a sawtooth. So I'm pretty much loaded for bear as far as trees go. So I'm gonna get there, probably clear out the area first and then change the tires, because I don't wanna change the tires only to have to come back later or run out of time. So I'll clear out the area that I need and then switch out the tires, and then I should be able to drive in front of the trailer, hook it up, and then basically I need to back it all the way out of that property, which is gonna be a chore and a half. I'll have to go nice and slow, and I'll need lots of space. But I think if I go slow and kind of pay attention to what I'm doing, I should be able to weave it out of there. Fortunately, it faces the right direction, so I can back on onto the road, and then I'll be lined up to just drive it out of that area right on the road. I was wanting to pull it out, but even if I were to manage to turn it around and pull it out straight, then there wouldn't be enough clearance to drive it out onto the main road. So I'll show you guys, I guess, when we get there. Okay, so we're back at the property. You can see the trailer. I can barely maneuver this excursion, so I'm gonna have to chop a lot of trees. I think I need to start with these ones right here, and then one's going out to the entrance. So I'm gonna start chopping and then swap out the tires, and then we'll go from there. And I'm fighting daylight. All right, so I chopped a bunch of branches. It barely made a difference, at least in here, but I had to make just now like 100 micro turns in order to get backed up in line with the trailer. So I'm gonna swap out the tires now and see if I can push it backwards, and then by hand just rotate it like this so it lines up with the road. Drive back again get backed up in front of it, hook it up, and then push it out. So that's my plan. Okay, so I just want to show you how ridiculous this is. We came out of there, and keep in mind I have a full-length SUV Excursion with a 12-foot trailer. And you can see the angle here. It's going uphill, the trailer's going downhill, to where there's not even 1 foot length here. You can see the rocks in the area, so I had to move a couple rocks like those ones so it wouldn't hit, because it's right there. So hopefully, oh, there's this rock too. Let me just grab this. So hopefully once these tires come down, that'll go back up. And then what I might have to do, because it's so tight here, I have to go straight back there, but I can actually pivot those front tires a little bit. What I might have to do though, there's a chance that I have to come down this hill, detach it, and swing it over and see if I can somehow wiggle the vehicle out and turn around and back up to it again. I had to do that in there already. It's already 9 p.m. so I've been sawing, cutting trees just to get this out of here. So yeah, this is a little bit crazy. I just wanted to show you how crazy this is, because there's basically there's no space. Fortunately, all of this is empty, so I can go back a good, like, I don't know, 10 feet. So Lord willing, I can just keep the wheels straight because I can't turn on the far side. And then hopefully that gives me enough to go forward. Here's praying. All right, we're officially hooked up and on the road. So let's go home. Fortunately, we just have to go out to Stanford, which is a bit of a drive. It'll probably take an hour and 15 minutes to get back to our property, but we're hooked up with new tires, and the only negative is that we don't have any lights on the trailer. The connector is all smashed to pieces. I don't know why it's smashed. But yeah, it's smashed, so we'll have to replace that. But let's go ahead and hit the road.